Nobody grows up dreaming of being a plumber. It is the job people make fun of. Gross, low status, the guy who unclogs your toilet. So here is something that will change how you see it forever. That guy who unclogs your toilet, at the top of his trade, he owns a business worth millions. Because plumbing is not a dirty dead-end job. It is a ladder, and it might be one of the smartest money moves hiding in plain sight. A ladder that starts with an apprentice getting paid to learn, with zero debt, and climbs all the way to a business owner whose crews make him money while he sleeps. And here's the kicker. It is a job that can never be shipped overseas and never replaced by a robot on a screen. Water will always break, pipes will always burst, and someone will always pay a lot to fix it fast. Today, we break down every single level of a plumber. The real training, the real license, and the real money, from the apprentice to the business owner. This is every level of a plumber. Let's turn the water on. The whole trade runs on one idea most people never get told. While college students pay tens of thousands to learn, a plumber gets paid from day one. No degree, no student debt, you earn while you learn, and you come out the other side with a license and a real skill. And that license is the secret weapon of the entire trade. Because in most places, you legally cannot do plumbing work or run a plumbing business without one. That license is a wall that keeps competition out and keeps your pay high. So the whole climb is simple. Get paid to learn, get licensed, then get ownership. Effort gets you in, the license makes you money, and owning the business sets you free. Now let's start at the very bottom. On day one, level 1, the apprentice. This is where every plumber starts, and here is the beautiful part. They pay you to be here. You find an apprenticeship through a union or a local plumbing company, and they hire you knowing you know nothing. And from your very first day, you earn a real wage, usually around $18 to $22 an hour to start. That is roughly $40,000 a year to learn a trade with no debt. But do not get too comfortable. As an apprentice, you are the bottom of the food chain. You dig the trenches, you haul the pipe, you hand the tools, you crawl into the disgusting places nobody else wants to go. And there is a clock ticking the whole time. To move up, you need hours, thousands of real, logged, on-the-job hours. It usually takes around 4 to 5 years, plus classroom time at night learning the code and the theory. It is long, it is dirty, and a lot of people quit. But every hour you log is an hour closer to the thing that changes everything, passing the exam and becoming licensed. By the end, you are earning close to $30 an hour with zero debt and a license test in front of you. Level 2, the Journeyman plumber. You pass the exam, you earned your license, and everything changes. A journeyman is a fully licensed plumber who can work on their own, with nobody looking over their shoulder. And the pay jumps to match. A journeyman plumber typically earns around $60,000 to $75,000 a year. In a big city, or with a strong union, that can climb past $90,000. Think about that. By your mid-20s, with no degree and no debt, you are out earning a huge chunk of college graduates. And here is where plumbing hides a secret bonus, the emergency premium. Because pipes do not break on a schedule. They burst at 2 in the morning, on a holiday, in a flood. And a plumber who will show up at that hour can charge a fortune for it. Nights, weekends, emergencies. That is where the real money hides. A lot of plumbers happily settle right here. Great money, always in demand, a skill that is truly recession-proof. But the ladder keeps going, and the next rungs are where a good income becomes a great one. Level 3, the master plumber. The top of the technical mountain. To get here, you need years more experience as a journeyman, and you pass an even harder exam, and a master plumber can do things a journeyman simply cannot. They can pull permits, they can design entire plumbing systems for big buildings, they can legally supervise other plumbers. That authority is worth serious money. A master plumber commonly earns around $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and often more. But the license itself is the real prize. Because in most places, you cannot legally own a plumbing business without a master's license on the team. So a master's license is not just a pay bump. It is a key that unlocks the level where you stop being a worker and start being an owner. Most master plumbers keep working for someone else at the top of the pay scale, but the ones who cross that line are about to multiply their income. Level 4, the plumbing contractor, the business owner. This is the leap. One day, the math finally clicks. You are out there fixing a job the customer pays, let's say, $1,000 for. And you realize your boss keeps most of it while paying you a slice. So you ask the only question that matters. Why am I making someone else rich with my own 2 hands and my own license? So you take the leap. You get your contractor's license, and you start your own plumbing company. At first, it is just you, a van, and a phone you are praying will ring. Then one job becomes two. You get too busy, so you hire your first apprentice. And the day that apprentice earns you more than you pay him, everything clicks. Now you are barely a plumber anymore. You are a business owner. You worry about bidding jobs, insurance, payroll, and finding plumbers you can trust. The first year is terrifying, and most of the money goes right back into the business. But if it works, everything changes, because now you do not get paid for your own two hands. You get paid for the work of your whole crew. A single well-run plumbing company can clear well over $200,000 a year straight to the owner. Level 5, the top of the ladder, where the plumber becomes an owner of pure profit. Because once one crew is making money, the owner asks the obvious question: what if I had 5 crews? 10. So he does. He sends 10 vans out on 10 jobs, and a slice of every single one flows back to him. He barely touches a wrench anymore. He runs a company. His income is not a wage, it is profit, and profit has no ceiling. The biggest plumbing companies make their owners millions. And here is the final move most people never think about. Because he did not just build a job, he built an asset. A profitable plumbing company with steady contracts and a trusted name is worth real money. One day, a bigger company comes knocking and hands him a check to buy the whole thing. Years of climbing turned into one number with a lot of zeros. For a career he started getting paid to learn, with no degree and no debt. That is the entire ladder, from the trench to the sale. And before we finish, here is a money secret buried inside plumbing that most people never hear. Just like welders, not all plumbing pays the same. Some corners of the trade quietly pay far more than others. Take the gas fitter who works on gas lines where one mistake is an explosion. That skill earns a real premium. Take the commercial and industrial plumber who plumbs entire skyscrapers, hospitals, and factories on massive contracts. Take the plumber who specializes in medical gas systems or complex heating. The rarer the skill, the fatter the check. And then there's the simplest money hack of all, being the one who answers the phone at 2 in the morning. Emergency and on-call plumbing. Nights, weekends, floods, and burst pipes. Pays double or even triple the normal rate. Because a homeowner with water pouring through their ceiling will pay almost anything to make it stop right now. Same license, a completely different paycheck, just for chasing the harder, scarier, or more urgent work. So here is the real lesson underneath all the pipes. Plumbing proves that the jobs people look down on are often the ones quietly building real wealth. At the bottom, you sold your effort and they paid you to learn. In the middle, you sold your skill, and the license made it valuable and protected. And at the top, you stopped selling your hands entirely and built a company that other people's hands run for you. That jump from fixing pipes to owning the company is the whole game. No degree, no debt, no permission needed. Just a skill people will always need, stacked into ownership. The plumber worth millions was never lucky. He just refused to stay under the sink forever. If you want to see every level of another job and exactly what it really pays, subscribe. We break down every level of every career and every dollar, drawn simply. Now go build something that runs without you. I will see you in the next one.